What challenges do leaders face and how are they overcome?
Ooh, that is a big question.
Well, for an expert like you, that's a piece of cake.
I mean, every individual will have different challenges, but I think a common challenge in Qatar is the multiculturalism of the teams. So when we talk a lot about emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence is really understanding self. But I like to talk about relational intelligence. And relational intelligence is about understanding the other. And in relational intelligence, there is this big element of cultural intelligence. And it's not just understanding, the do's and don'ts. It's much deeper than that. But in that relational intelligence, to understand how do I lead someone from a culture different than my own in a way that esteems them and shows respect and value to them is very important. And I think a lot of times leadership is so complex. Dealing with people is so complex. And sometimes we are trying to find shortcuts that are much harder to find in a multicultural environment because what works for John is not going to work for Ahmed, and what
That's
works
right.
for Sakish is not going to work for Amal, right? And so I need to have the ability to switch. We call it code switching, yeah? To switch my style depending on who's in front of me. I think that is a great challenge that I would say many leaders don't fully understand what it is. They just feel it. They feel the frustration. They feel that I've tried everything I know how and I don't have the tools to do anymore. And then we will, with our psychological dissonance, we try to find an answer. And the answer is not always exactly the dynamics, right? So that
Right.
can be a big challenge as well. And I think another challenge in Qatar is the ever so transient workforce. People are always
Mhm.
coming and going, and I think that creates a very unique challenge for people to. By the time you find a group that is working well together, here we go. We got another transition. That is a
Right. Right.
major
Yeah.
challenge.
So, in terms of the multicultural aspect, Roberta, would you say that, well, basically what's, going to be involved is like intercultural communications and good, strong knowledge of cultural nuances. So, I guess a question to you, would you say that a team, a consulting team working together from the four corners of the earth, different culture, diverse cultural backgrounds, knowledges, experience, would that be a great benefit to employers and corporations, governmental departments when it comes to helping them with HR services and HR activities?
Yeah, absolutely, because the different points of view and perspectives will just enrich we find what we're looking for. And so if my lenses are not looking for a particular nuance, because in my cultural background that is not relevant, I will miss it. Having several eyes will help. Having diverse eyes is even better because people will be looking at each one will bring in a very different perspective into what we're looking at in terms of an organization from a consulting perspective, and to be able to then speak into those dynamics and to be able to really craft a solution that works for everybody.
Right, right. Thank you very much. And I'm proud to say that our team comes from diverse backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, with several, also languages and knowledge and experiences, which I'm sure would be a great help and benefit to our clientele.
For sure.